do a little change here. Let me find the right tool. Here we go. Feel that rust in there?
Yeah, that's what's causing the
That's
problem.
slipping around. Let's see. Probably one. People will make an appointment with me. They'll either call me, text me, or email me, and we'll figure out a time that I can come over to their house, and the first thing I do is set up shop in their driveway or garage, and I do an assessment, and once I assess the bike, and I encourage the bike owner to stay around while I do the assessment, and I'll show them exactly what's going on. And at that point, together we can decide if we're going to do a full tune-up. Maybe it just needs an adjustment. Maybe just a derailleur adjustment or a brake adjustment, or there might be a flat tire that needs fixing. But anyhow, that's how it all starts, and then I do the work right then and there on the spot.
Do you charge a fee for coming out, or just for the repair?
Yeah, there's a minimum of $25. So if
does that cover the repair, or is that for
yeah,
coming
that goes
out?
towards the repair.
Okay.
So, like, you know, for instance, like a brake adjustment. You know, a front brake adjustment is $15. A rear brake adjustment is $15. If you just have me out for a brake adjustment, it's going to be $25. When you do the front and rear brake together, it's $25.
How often should people have tune-ups if they're just casual riders? They maybe ride a couple hundred miles a year.
Well, they can kind of feel when their bike's not shifting right, or the brakes are very loose. If they get caught riding in the rain or something like that, the bike might need some attention. My complete tune-up includes, I true the wheels. When the wheels are off the bike, I can clean them, and I clean and wax the frame while the wheels are off the bike. Put the wheels back on, and I adjust the front and rear derailleur, front and rear brakes. I lubricate all the pivots in the derailleurs, and I lubricate the derailleur cable, and then I degrease and lube the chain. So with everything lubricated and slippery, it's going to shift as good as it can possibly shift. You know, sometimes maybe the cables need replacing, like on this bike. You know, the cables are rusty, so it was affecting the shifting. So we're going to get the cables replaced, and it'll shift good as new. So that's what I'm struggling with now.
And how much does just a standard tune-up cost?
Standard tune-up is $120, and yay, I got it through. Standard tune-up is $120, and that includes everything that I said. If you need brake pads or cables or tires or tubes or anything like that, it's extra. And I quote all my prices before I do the work. So you know, I try and be totally transparent. I don't want any surprises, you know, when I'm finished, and I tell the bike owner what the price is.
There are a lot of cyclists in Olney. Do you have any sort of sense as to how many people here are regular cyclists?
Well, I can say percentage-wise of the people that I see. Probably serious cyclists, because there's a lot of nice roads to do road riding around Olney. There's probably a percentage of my business that is that type of rider is maybe about 15%. The majority are recreational riders. There's probably, I don't know, maybe 10% are commuters. A lot of kids' bikes, not as many as I'd like. You know, I'd like seeing kids out on their bikes, but you know, it's a nice community to ride a bike in, and hopefully more and more people are you know, finding that having a convenient way to keep their bike running may encourage them to ride more, because a bike that's tuned right and works right is much better, or much nicer to ride than a bike that's out of tune. You know, so it's just that much more enjoyable, and that's what I'm trying to create here, is a nice, enjoyable experience.